What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players, in a game of milliseconds and mind games where nerves are weapons and courage is currency. Two Titan teams step into the arena with nothing left to lose and a shot at the top. I'm the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me on the desk today, Mr. Whiskey Run. Whiskey, it's ESA Cup, baby.
That's right. Welcome, everyone. ESA Cup Season 10, the finale here coming at you. This is it, potentially the last season of ESA and almost the last game of the season. We are here with the lower bracket final between Ghost Army and Team Synq. And this is a matchup we've been waiting for a long time. You and I got a chance to cast this Team Synq versus Entropy all the way back on the very opener for the playoffs nearly a month ago at this point, the 5th of May. Got to see this battle between the two. Now, the question is Entropy, they used up all of their luck, lost in the lower bracket. Meanwhile, Team Synq has been on an absolute stunner, making it all the way to the end here to face Ghost Army. And man, three remain. MVG awaits the winner of the Ghost Army versus Team Synq battle here. Team Synq has got their work cut out for them, though. They're going to have to beat the Season 8 and ESA Cup Season 9 champs to earn the Season 10 victory.
Man, lot riding on the line. A shot at the dance floor, Whiskey. A potential to get to the grand finals and what could be the last. This is huge. This is epic. And it's a best of three, right? A best of three with unlimited overtime. So we could potentially be here. If this is a
Let's
game,
go.
let's freaking set it, right? So getting into, we'll take a look at the bands real quick. You can see quickly run. They got Skyscraper off the board. I know that plays into your heart or pulls your heartstrings a little bit.
Yes.
Border Bank and Gone Clubhouse fall, which means a couple of maps that we were talking before the show that we never get to see. Night Haven and Cafe.
Certainly some of the favorites here in the competitive pool as the season has wore on. We are so close to Siege X, but it is not time to close out Standard Siege yet. Nighthaven and Cafe, you said it, the standard maps, favorites in the competitive scene, both on PC and on console, and EU and North America. Unfortunate though, I'm a little disappointed we're going to drop Layer and Consulate next, but I'm not unhappy about finishing potentially on Skyscraper, on Chalet. I'm happy Skyscraper
Whoa.
spawn.
Whoa, you almost caster cursed us a skyscraper match. That was close. You got to be careful with your powers. Chalet to end it. It's a decider. It's an equalizer. There's been so much change in the way that Chalet is played with unlimited overtime in view. If we make it to that map, man, I see that one going the distance for sure. So now
Okay.
it's time to find out what you were thinking, right? What we were thinking, what
Yeah.
you were thinking. Let's take a look at who's stacking up.
This is actually one of the more evenly split staff predictions wise we've seen. From the social vote, clearly Ghost Army the favorite, right? They're the season 8 ESA Cup champs. They're coming in hot. They've only lost to the season 9 in that upper bracket final versus MVG. But obviously there's some Team Synq love going out here. They've made a hell of a lower bracket run ever since that game we saw back on May 5th. They haven't lost a game since and continued their run. So people have got a little bit of faith from the staff side. The social, on the other hand, not nearly as confident as the staff. Definitely heavily weighted on the Ghost Army side.
That's right. Turns Team Sync into needing a Herculean effort if you're going to put it into the hands of the people here. 70 to 30. That feels like a statistic that says we're going to have it over in two.
Yeah, is it going to be a 2 map? Is it going to be a 3 map? Are we going to see any of that infinite overtime? Man, it's about time to get into it. Night Haven coming up, and there's a lot of talk. There'll be a lot of talk about the setup here for a season 8 versus season 9 champ battle in the grand final next weekend. But Team Sync has got something to say about that before we even get to that point. Can they put up a fight here in the lower bracket final?
Okay, run into the ban phase. We're going to see who we're taking off the board. And this tells the story of how the map is going to go. And look at it's a spicy first pick. Normally, we've been seeing shields taken off the board, but they're going to take the hard breach. What does that do? It tears apart some of the strats that we have, right? Accepted usage up on the second floor is bringing 2 hard breach, open everything up. The Selma charges means Mira is going to stay a little bit more protected unless you bring a Habana along, or of course one of those devastating drone users. All shields on the attack side left on, ready to be played.
I'm a little surprised there. Yeah, the shields have been so good here in Year 10 Season 1. Just across the board, whether you are a console player or a PC player, shields have definitely been an important part of it. And to see Ghost Army and Team Synq sort of avoid the avoid it at all costs to start off here in the ban phase and leave them all open, certainly surprising. This is very much a tactical back and forth, but the banning the Cade on the other side here, Ghost Army going to try and take advantage of the fact that without Ace available when they get on their attack, they're going to need to make sure that they have the advantage of opening up some of those hatches just a little bit easier. Getting rid of the Cade, a great call. And then Vigil. This, I feel like we'll have to go back and look. I think a bit of a target ban, and we've seen this in the ESA Cup before. There are certainly some players that are devastating with the Boss G, and making sure that he's not available is a great call.
Absolutely. And just want to point out, no Boss Gs to be had today on Nighthaven Labs. Dokkaebi and Vigil gone means the Boss G not going to be a part of today's play.
And defuse as many bombs as they can.
That's crazy. All right. Such an important part of the way the game is played out, but the other piece we're going to start with on this defensive side, Trap City, the combination of the Legion Fenrir and the Kapkan, and they're going to go ahead from the Team Synq side, show the Kapkan early, make sure that this Ghost Army team is slowed down on the attack, expecting something quick. They've only lost one game so far, and that was to the eventual grand final winner there in Season 9, MVG. So Ghost Army has put up some great numbers in ESA so far.
I like the process that we're bringing out. Started out in the basement, right? It can go back and forth on whether you start on the second floor or the basement. Basement arguably being the better site. But yeah, ace setting ability here on the side of the defense. Show the Kapkan early, make them think about it the entire rest of the defensive half, and then slow them down. Fenrir, Mira, Legion, everything making sure that you're not getting in there. So no shields banned and no shields brought for this very first round. We're going to see the Deimos brought on, a little bit of attention towards that vertical with Ram being brought out here as well. But really, pretty solid lineup on both sides, especially knowing that we don't have any shields being used.
Look at this roam game here that Team Synq has brought out. You still have got 2 players upstairs on the second floor, and that's where that first engagement happened. Pizza takes down Atox to start this thing off. The battle upstairs, and that is the Deimos down. That is a huge disadvantage there for Ghost Army, but they're going to answer back. Vod going down next. That's the Legion. Not all those goos out, but losing his ability to roam, also going to be a little bit of a problem here. So they're looking downstairs. Thermite is here ready, waiting. No other breach denial in play, so he can go ahead and open these up whenever he's ready.
All right, check all the boxes here on round number 1. Claim the vertical, open the breach, get yourself set up for potentially that default on the Exo stair plant. We'll see. Still got to deal with some of this vertical pressure. Everybody upstairs outside of Solo, who's the lone member fighting to make sure that a plant doesn't happen. A good redirect here by the attack could come up huge.
It's funny that like everybody's upstairs except for Solo, holding Solo in the basement, right where he should be. Gonna go ahead and play into that. I mean, that's potentially his game style matches his gamer tag at this point. With a minute left, Ghost Army looking to set this up. They're getting the vertical in play. You heard the boogies go out. Ram opening everything up, but he takes down Yoshiro, and that is Ram gone. So whatever they've got open at this point, going to be used up. Speaking of used up, there goes a C4. 50 seconds left. This attacking team just trying to burn some defensive utility, bait out the C4s. Mirror windows, though, still up.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
No way he wins
it's going
that.
to take Solo off the board. Pizza quickly to answer back. Does give the man advantage still into the hands of Team Synq. As the time starts to tick away, it starts to become very defensive favored. knows that he's got somebody down. There's the finish off. There's the equalizer. And now in a 2-2, they're set up to get the cross and make the plant. One still upstairs, so the vertical play could become very pressure sensitive here. They're going to be able to take him off the board, and there it is.
No
Vertical's gonna
way.
take it. Pizza finds him. He's going to try to go for another plant. He's not sure where exactly that came from, though. They make the drop down the hatch. Coming in to stop it, and there it is. They're going to find it on the defense, and that was a quick.
Boy, Pizza picking up a 3K to start this thing off. When you and I were taking a look, oh no, tech issues in play. When you and I were talking about this match during the setup, we were taking a look at that game back on May 5th, and how did Team Synq do versus that Entropy Gaming squad? And Pizza was one of the guys that, maybe a little bit of a leader of the team. One bad map and then one great map. So in that best of two, even though Team Synq lost both of those, Pizza had one bad map, and then that second map was great, breaking off a 14 kill in one map. So when he's hot, he is an important part of holding this team together. It didn't net them a win back in that opening playoff game, but they got close, taking it to OT. At this point, see whether or not, right now, it looks like he is starting off map 1 hot with that 3K.
That's right. Guns a-blazing round 1 in the bag, but it wouldn't be live Siege without live issues. So a quick rehost going on, which means we're going to take ourselves a quick break, grab a glass of water, and then come back in for the stunning conclusion and kind of basically start of round or map number 1. Sit back, relax, because when we come back, we're going to bring you the end of the first map. Ayo. What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. We did it. We're back.
That's right. Welcome back, everyone. We are in the lower bracket final here between Ghost Army and Team Synq. And if you notice, we already saw round 1 played in the basement. Well, it's a round do-over. We're going to see a round repeat here for a rules issue. Ghost Army taking on Team Synq on Nighthaven. It's map 1 of the best of 3.
10 seconds left.
Got to see a little bit of basement play to start off with, and Team Synq starting off with essentially the same lineup, bringing out 3 of the trap ops plus the Mira and the Warden to back them up, and very similar setup as well. So whatever they showed Ghost Army in that round 1, they're going to stick with it, keep the script, run it back just the same.
Almost exactly, right? All the way up to the Capcan, who's all the way up on the second floor, kind of isolating himself for that first bit of slowdown, time torch, if you will. So we'll see if it plays out the same way. On the other side of the board, Brava back to run it back. Ermite going to open the thing up. We still got Deimos to track him down. So, I mean, I'm having a weird case.
Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly the same lineup from both teams. So 2 things that are interesting about that for me is, number 1, Team Synq not changing the lineup, not bringing out any of the breach denial. You have the option, both the bandit and the mute are fairly decent at trying to block off that basement wall. But on the other side, on the Ghost Army side, they didn't bring anything to sort of change up that script at all either. They brought out the same ops. The big difference, though, using one of those thermite upstairs, opening up that main wall to put some pressure on the second floor, try and get everybody down. But right now, Capcan hanging on, holding on to that second floor hallway, getting close to halfway through this round. Got to do something maybe a little bit different. That initial engagement happening upstairs between the Deimos and the Capcan, and this time, Deimos wins the battle.
That's right, and they claim that second floor real estate, and a second to follow up as Warden's going to get taken down as well. Was that
He's running the Legion Shoddy?
Let's go! Takes one off the board. Man advantage huge into the hands of Ghost Army now as it sits 4-2. One down below, one above, just like we saw in the last little bit of the last bit of the first round. Ping goes off, looking for the swing, takes out the bailiff. He gets rewarded with it. Pizza finds his first kill. I was about to say another one, not another one. So now into a 3v2, a little bit closer run. We still got a full minute left on it.
I can't believe he picked up a bailiff plus a bailiff down, a knife kill round 1. Now, if you're just joining us, Pizza also had a 3K to start off that first round, so he wanted to get some of those kills back. He's only going to pick up 1 before going down. leaving solo in an appropriately named 1v3 with the last 35 seconds left.
Made the rotate upstairs, going for this vertical play. They're trying to hunt him down on the drones as they've got one down. Elysian Goo goes off. That's going to reveal the location. Slowly, steadily making their way up. They're going to make the rotate. He could get a free one here. Boom, and he does. And that's Diffuser down.
No way.
Now they're going to have to make that approach, and they have one outside. This could be huge. They're going to find a quick swing, but okay, I was about to say, he just holds the pre-fire, enough bullets to get the job done. Man, almost had a clutch there.
Well, the replay here in this case works out in Ghost Army's favor. They pick up round one this time after what is essentially all of the engagement happening outside of sight, upstairs. But for me, we saw the defense make a couple errors, couple pieces of mistake there. You had them running out here, and then the reload out in the open, standing next to that to the high-low, not even under any cover, leaving it wide open for Ghost Army to finish off solo to end that round. So a couple mistakes, even though they got some kills. He takes down the diffuser upstairs, leaves himself vulnerable. We saw the same thing from Fod, taking down that win with the Legion shoddy, turning his back, leaving himself vulnerable to the window. So right now, Ghost Army capitalizing off of the few mistakes that Team Synq has made here on round one. There's a ton of Siege left to be played, though. I mean, we're in a best of three, infinite overtime, lower bracket final.
Oh, man, infinite overtime, and ESA is known for bringing out the long ones, the back and forth, the barn burners. Kind of what we're shaping up to see here. Okay, Ghost Army said it, claims one. We're going to see a repeat, and is there any surprise here? No change on the defensive lineup.
No change on the attacking lineup either. They're bringing out the same 10 ops now. This is 3 rounds in a row, 2 being played. But act exactly the same strat. And you still have got Capcan upstairs holding on. Legion running the shoddy again. Boy, this is, we talk about Siege being a game of adaptability, the team that adapts the best, usually picking up some of these wins. But right now, these teams are just trenched in the way they want to play the round out with the band operators. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, you said it, but you said it nicer. I'll say it. Adapt or die. This is a 1-1 apiece that they've won now. So who's going to take the third and final round? Who made the correct adaptation? Maybe it wasn't in the lineup. Maybe it wasn't in the strat. It's going to have to be the way that this is paced out. First one, taking off the board. Pete's going to find down the Deimos, and that's going to be the advantage in the hands of Team Synq early.
That's the third time we've seen Pete and Atox there do battle upstairs between the Deimos and the Capcan, and they have traded back and forth, neither of them really having a significant advantage at this point. Although here on round 2, we're going to give it to Team Synq as they pick up that opening kill, and again, losing the Deimos early, not going to be able to do any of that tracking, not going to be able to play the vertical game as well. They still have got the Ram. And this time, Thermite's already used both of his charges, done all the hard breach work early, so he can be part of this team, scoping out, trying to find where are the roamers upstairs. Team Synq has been very roam heavy every round so far.
Yeah, and so we still have Legion holding up onto the second floor. Ward is going to be the first to go down as he's going to sit 0-2 for the round. Minute left. Numbers have been equalized, and now starting to get some of that top floor. The thing is, he still sits atop that first floor. Fod gonna find one with the shotgun. Man advantage back into the hands of Team Synq here as the last 47 starts to count down.
I don't know whether or not it's a good choice. It's an interesting choice that right now he's making work. Could he have done the same damage with the SMG? Absolutely. Is he going to be the difference maker at this point? Right now, everything going in Team Synq's favor. They're capitalizing on the Ghost Army mistakes in a 4v2. Final 20 seconds left.
That's right. Legion turning the tides with a single pump. That's power. 4v2 now as they just make a quick swing, and Fod gonna find the last with that Legion shoddy. Unexpected 2K there. He's just in a great position to get it done.
We're running the double shoddy as well with the pocket in hand. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Yeah, power move. I don't know whether or not, it forces you to get up and close with the enemy, right? You can't take some of those long-range engagements. if you're gonna be better with the shotgun, gives you a little bit more
Attackers need to
area to be
locate and
deadly
defuse
with.
as many
Maybe your
bombs as
aim
they
doesn't
can.
have to be pixel perfect. And if that fit FOD style right now, he's making it work for him. 3-1-0 so far. Hasn't he's making it work. I guess that's the good call. And bringing out now 3 shotties with both Pizza and Solo also running the shotties at this point. So Team Synq just piling it on top. They're gonna play the basement. They're playing no, not basement. This is first floor control, and this time they're gonna run the bandit.
I like
Bomb
control.
located
It's
by
obviously
attackers.
favored over the
10
kitchen
seconds
site
to
for
go.
me personally. But there is some inherent risks with
5
this one,
seconds
right?
to
The
insertion.
potential to claim a small space of vertical to be able to plant off the
Attackers are
window,
heading out to
huge.
defuse
We've
the
seen
bomb.
lots of teams get active with some shield play towards this. Most recently, me and you, casting, we saw the M80X strat where it was just claim that 1 inch of space up top to hold the vert on the pillar, push in through windows, send a blitz, and plant through the smoke. No shields on the board here though, and it's surprising. 2 rounds in, 0 shield play.
It just does not seem to be the style of play that either of these teams want from a defense or from an attacking perspective. On the defensive side, though, is interesting down in the basement. No real breach denial this time, though. Solo and Pete both bringing out the 2 available breach denial ops. They're going to use it upstairs, like you said, holding on to that IT wall. Saw that electrified from the bandits upstairs, forcing this attacking team to claim all the space. And right at the start, they had 4 players upstairs on 2F. A couple of them have rotated back down, but you still have got 3. Solo, Pete, and Shay all holding on this second floor vertical and moving around like crazy, bobbing and weaving. But right now, the bandits in play, locking this down upstairs.
That's right. Step number 1 when you're checking off the boxes, got to claim some of that vertical, and you got 3 to push off of it. I think one of the big spoilers here, FOD sitting down in tank, looking to play that spoiler, looking to play impact from below. Should they go for something quick? He has that shotgun in hand yet again. He'll be able to do a little bit of that vertical damage on the soft breach, at least force some movement.
Yeah, the guy that they got to watch out for, we're going to say it, Yoshiro here, running the ram, opening up this vertical, going to go upside down, rappel, looking down through that floor, protecting it. Now, Mira's locked into this, the spot above the upstairs warehouse, potentially a spoiler, but she's not going to have any good angle holding on to that upside down rappel. But man, the trade's coming out back and forth. The Ghost Army with a huge advantage in a 5v1.
Yep, history repeats itself. Solo is by himself, finds one, but traded immediately. An absolute masterclass. There was not a gunfight to be had. This was an execution run. They took the Tersh.
Oof. Interesting choice. For me, it feels like on the Team Synq side. I know there was a lot of debate, and you mentioned it early on about whether or not the second floor, potentially the better, or the basement. Would have loved to have seen Team Synq try and play that second floor site, and they're going to go ahead and avoid it in general here
Defenders,
and
protect
play
your bombs from
kitchen
being defused by
as
attackers.
opposed to the second floor. That, to me, is definitely an interesting choice. This is one of those sites that's got some of the problems from the mid floor that makes it not advantageous, with tons of breachable floor upstairs, lots of great angles that you can hold on the bomb site, double breach right in very close with an easy plant, and that window plus a hatch above. It's a little bit of a dangerous defensive site. Team Synq has got their work cut out for them, and bringing out at least the bandit, good call, try and lock down that, but then just a little bit of traps too, with Pizza bringing out the frost instead.
Man, I don't know, Run. You know, I like the offsites. I do. And I think they're going to be more prevalent in Siege X. This feels like a tough one. We'll see if they're going to be able to hold on to it. Only one person, nobody up. Okay, there it is. Frost. Pizza going to be up holding onto the vertical at least. But outside of that, and that's a key point here, holding the vertical allows for a quick, easy plant, either off the wall or in through the window, like you said. So, like, I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, Team Synq right now said Pizza's upstairs holding on the connector, and then you had Wamai jumped out, got that upstairs hatch. We said that's one of the important parts. You're gonna have to use some of the hard breach utilities. So you've got 2 of the thermites. No, they don't have can openers as the alternative. This time we talked about it, bringing out the shield. So we're going to have the Blackbeard on board to try and put some direct pressure on this team. I think that's a great call for a mid-floor site. We got the Buck upstairs working on the vertical in combination with the Ram. And the interesting thing on the Ghost Army side, they're switching up some of the ops rather than Yoshiro playing the Ram. This time QLF is going to pick it up, but they've got to work. They've got to watch out for the upstairs operators. There goes one of those thermite charges off. And the dangerous thing here, he's got one more left. They need that to open up the hard breach downstairs. So that is absolutely going to be the focus that Thermite has got going forward.
That's right. Pizza in a power position here. Got a deployable at the top of the stairs, able to hold on to the vertical off the window. Also putting pressure on the lobby where Bandit sits as well. They're going to start making this attempt to push in here, but time is starting to tick down. Team Synq might make me eat my words here.
They're going for more of a direct vertical take. I can't believe they didn't use one of the thermites to try and get a double hard breach open downstairs. That is such an important sight line into the double site here. This feels like it's an easier site from an attacking perspective, but they may have made a little bit of an error there using all of the hard breach upstairs. And there goes the C4, so it's evened up. Got the Buck playing upstairs, and now Blackbeard has got to get active.
Oh, there it is. Walls opened up. That's going to be Blackbeard finding one off the board. Lobby presence dealt with. Shay to answer back. Pizza down and dusted. Now man advantage into the hands of Ghost Army as they've claimed that real estate. Now they've claimed the man advantage as well. Time, though, starting to tick down. Pressure from the kitchen starting to cook. They're all up top. They've got to face this downstairs presence. Got some footholds set up. There's the drop. Quick swing, flashes go out. Gonna ISO here, this player in the lobby. They're gonna take Shay off the board. Now into a 3v1. Thermite a low HP. No C4 on the board to deny. Means it's gonna have to be straight gunfights. 11 seconds, starting to make the push in. He's got pixel peak perfection here. They jump up onto the table. Plant is starting to go down. Might have the play. He takes one, but he's sussed out. Atox able to take Solo off the board, and that is rounds, every round in a row. Solo, the last alive.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned it. Solo holding down that anchor site, playing support, and gets himself, unfortunately, in a 1vx scenario too often. And a couple big things there, right? We said, I was a little surprised that that Thermite wasn't using the charge downstairs. The defense left that wall soft. Made it almost, again, inviting. We talk about baiting the attackers in, but the attackers pick up a win on the offsite. None of us are surprised at this point that happened, but it's a difficult site to hold, and the fact that Team Synq invited the team in without forcing them to use any of the hard breach to try and open up that sight line, I think a little bit of a tactical error there, and Team Synq couldn't recover, got themselves in a down position, even though they pick up a C4 kill early to try and equalize with the Buck and the Ram both available to open up vertical. All the sight lines they needed. Just nothing that could stop the Ghost Army, and they've picked up 3 attacking wins here on Nighthaven to start this best of 3 off.
Man, so we got to ask, what's the adaptation and what is the fear of 2F? Why do we see kitchen over 2F? They were cooking. It started to kind of work there. We had a little bit more investment to that vertical. You're right. That could have been a difference round. We could have been closer to tied up. Now, Nighthaven can go both ways here, right? If you have a well put together attack team, you're going to see some attacking success if it's well coordinated. Generally defensive sided, I think. I'm not sure how it plays out in the hands of the ESA Cup specifically.
This is Ghost Army's map, so just to confirm that as well. And look at this, trying to use the breach charge on the wall, loses a little bit of a health in the battle, but not too much. So we expect Ghost Army to come in very good. The thing about it, though, Nighthaven is such a important part of the competitive meta right now. Both teams should be very, very good from the way that they play this map out, both attack and defense. Even though this is Ghost Army's map pick, we'd expect that Team Synq would have very prepared defense at this point. So Again, upstairs, battle happening here. Going to happen between Deimos and Kapkan, and Pete was just unaware, watching the warehouse side, even though Deimos go ahead and shot both of the Kapkans on the door, giving his position away, just not paying attention there from Pete, and looks to take advantage of a player in warehouse, leaves his back wide open.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge misstep. So main advantage into the hands of Ghost Army here. They claim that vertical space. 2F now into the hands of the attacking team, and they can start to get the drones back in, suss out where these last defenders are. Specifically, they're looking for Pizza and Fod, right? They've been the impact players on the side of Team Synq. They're getting that late round activity going on, so they are definitely going to be the subject of trying to figure out where they are. Deimos ping goes on to Legion's going to send him back down to side, or at least holding on to the stairs a little bit, but they've got his location.
Yeah, you know you're going to have Solo playing Anchor in the basement as always, and if you can get him in a 1vx scenario, Ghost Army's been very successful. So you said it, find the Wormware Spurs, that's where they've had all the success at this point. They're going to take down, I thought he was going to get Bod, he only damages him, takes away most of his health. He's left alive though, holding on with 2 more of the Legion Goose in pocket. You hear one go off, and he's left alive and answers back, takes down the ramp.
Bod finds one. The Pizza going to have the play here, and there it is. Nobody watching the flank. Caught off guard, equalized on the body balance, and now it's going to be taking the scenic route as he's still a force and a pressure that you have to deal with. Yes, you're going towards the plants. That's going to be Atox down as well, so man advantage heavily now into the hands of Team Synq. It is F2 claims one as Solo goes down. Gonna try to go for the revive, but 7 seconds left. I mean, you really don't have much to do. Diffuser cold, members down, 1v2, vertical presence to be had. F2 finds one, but it's just not gonna be enough. Team Sync's gonna find another round.
Oh, let's go. Team Synq is, that was what they needed, and the huge flank coming out late, little bit of vertical play, keeping Fod and that Legion shoddy alive a little bit longer to do some damage. Couple big missteps early on. We're seeing in the replays the Kapkan unaware, but managed to turn that thing around, and the prone shotgun flank playing from behind the mirror window. Huge difference maker there from Solo, even though he goes down shortly after. They picked up the important pieces, and you said it, the diffuser upstairs in warehouse, not nearly enough time available. So Team Synq finds one round away from trying to tie this thing up and at least go into the half. Split, tied up. Ghost Army up 3 on their map pick. And look at this, Team Synq changing up the strat in the first real deviation we've seen in the way they played it, bringing out the clash.
I like it. Not just bringing it out, but hiding it in the corner. We've seen this a lot in the comp scene, is because you can find ways to deal with the clash, right? Bring out the Nomad, bring out the tracks. We've seen some very funny Rotero pushes onto the clash and stuff. So yeah, hide them, make it a strat that you're not going to know. It's another pace setter, and that seems to be what Team Synq likes here, trying to set the pace early. If it works, it's rewarded. Just like in that last round, they just ran out of time.
Yeah, interesting we saw again, the first 3 rounds, the same 10 ops in a row from both teams. Since that point, though, they have definitely started to adapt. Felt like we sort of called them out for it, like, hey, adapt or die, I believe was your line at this point, and they weren't doing it. Now, game's completely changed up, and we're seeing a lot of different types of action at this point. See, look, the easy shot there, taking the bandit charges out. Thermite's going to get this wall open. Plus, they've got the Mav looking like to go do his work on the IT side. That question, where is Clash playing? She's playing on that IT breach.
I like it. Get up close and personal. And with the changes that are going to be coming with CGX, also going to be a huge and viable strat here. Taking a quick second, looking in, probing around, figuring out exactly where these defenders are. Mira back onto the main breach. He's making that thermite all but impossible. That's a huge ace ban here with the Mira on the breach. I love it. Oh, a couple of shots.
It is a great play, and even though you've got the Mira to make this difficult, but look at this. They're going to be able to finally open this wall up. Oh no, didn't quite get it, and the C4 goes out, but misses. Wow, that is that right there, the important part, but No way. He is going to get himself killed working on this wall, but nobody from the defense in the right spot to be able to take advantage of it.
No kidding. 0 to hero, and it didn't look easy, but he got the job done. Now opened up. Clash just going to be that static, stoic drone in the corner, feeding that intel, as they don't have any more air jabs to try and force them out of that corner. Opening up the long angle here. Pete going to find the first one, and that's going to be the Grim, and the intel gone, done, dusted as the main advantage goes into the hand of Team Synq. Less than a minute as it starts to count down. Flashes going in. Solo's going to find one. Man advantage now up by 2. Taking a quick look, but the pressure from across the site is huge. Warden goes down, though, in a hell of bullets. Looks for a second, but done, dusted, and dealt with.
Wow, a little bit of an unfamiliar situation, it feels like, for Ghost Army in a 1v4 scenario with them being down in the man count. QLF has got his work cut out for him. Struggled to get that IT wall open, and Clash didn't even move, held on to that position. It felt like a dangerous play, felt like it wasn't the right setup, but they made it work, and now just going to go ahead and give this one up.
Yeah, not much to do there. The crosses were set, the time was gone, the diffuser was kaput. There just wasn't going to be much you could do, so full send it. Make it like an action movie, go into guns a-blazing, and hope for the best, Whiskey. 3-3 on the half as we find ourselves tied up going into the second part of this.
Well, you asked why were they afraid to play that second floor site, and it seems like they were hiding the strat at this point. They were waiting, brought out the second floor site to finish off their defensive half and shut down Ghost Army, and really what felt like a little bit of a dominant beginning to this game. They went 3-1 in the first 4 rounds, and then Team Synq comes back, picks up round 5 and 6 to even this thing out. Great finish by them. Didn't get mentally chalked. Just played through, found their win. So 3-3 half, and you said it. Gonna have a little bit of a break because one of the players crashed again.
Yep, dang it. Okay, so we're going to potentially be a second while we get there. Well, it's just a crash. We're not rehosting, right? So, okay, so then let me just ask you this, Run. 3-3, what was the ultimate switch up? Was it changing the operators around? Because, I mean, yes, going up to the second floor definitely was good. I mean, they should have done that over kitchen in the first place, right? That shouldn't have been a last resort, especially with how dominant that round was. But was it switching up the ops or was it switching up the site? Which is the one that did it?
I'd say a combination of both, because I don't know whether or not playing the Clash was certainly the difference maker. That was really the main change-up we saw from a defensive perspective. But to me, maybe that was a little bit of a boost of confidence. I think the site is just better defensively. There's a reason that 2F on Nighthaven is the place that most teams start. Ghost Army on their map pick here doing the same thing, picking up starting on the 2F because statistically better defensive site. There's no way we should have seen a kitchen defense before 2F.
3-3 on the tie-up here. Phil's whose map? This is Ghost Army's map, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Doesn't feel too bad all the way around. In the realm of infinite overtime, this is starting out to potentially just demand it. On the side of the defense, they're going to show the Clash early. A couple of standards on the board. Atox onto the Azami. The Architect, hold on to that catwalk area. Maintain some of that 2F presence in the garage and the warehouse. Mute for that intel control, and Warden because necessary. I think, though, is Pizza on the Nook shotgun as well? That's a favored weapon here.
Yeah, I think we talked about this during that previous Team Synq play as well. That running the Nook shoddy this time. So it's an interesting setup, an interesting style of play. To me, the Ghost Army defense is more what I would call the competitive standard, right? You're running the Mute Mira Azami combo upstairs. Plus the Clash is a little bit of a preference or a favorite pick. In this case, this just feels like more of a competitive setup. Holding on to the standard places, the standard picks. It's a good setup from teams from Ghost Army, so Team Synq has got their work cut out for them.
Look at this.
Reloading.
Twitch just making their way in, and it's going to pay the price for it. A lot of damage done as that presence on catwalk not done, dusted, and dealt with. So main advantage is into the hands of Team Synq as they take the Warden off the board, but man, almost a close one as they almost said goodbye to Pete. Oh, and Pete's going to find one. Rewarded. He just makes the rotate around. He finds one, does get answer back with Jay, but that was a tough pick.
Yeah, unaware. That's unfortunate. They're losing your life in what should have been a good angle. They had the Kiba up, just not playing behind it, exposing his head. The nade's coming in. The flash is coming in. Oh, that nade's so close. Boy, only doing a tiny bit of damage, though, and just keeping the striker at bay.
That's right. All it did was not allow you to push in and put the pressure on the Clash while the electricity recharged. The nade, more of a suggestion than any sort of movement. Now Atox, the last alive here, as Solo's able to take one off the board. No Kiba barriers. Tactical barbed wire still in hands. The F2's going to sing goodnight as Pete swings.
Boy, that did not go the way we expected, or at least I expected, certainly. It looked like the standard comp setup from Ghost Army upstairs on the second floor had all the pieces in play and played poorly. Unfortunately, the attackers claimed that one. Couple good plays, even though Striker did doing battle with the Clash upstairs at the top of the river stairs. All the action was happening on the other side of the map. IT breach was open very quickly. The connector breach outside was open very quickly. And Team Synq had all the angles they needed to put pressure. Even though they had some Kibas strategically placed, playing not behind those important assets. So just a little bit of a couple mistakes there. And boy, this is interesting. You can see, look where Mira's setting up, splitting the wall, leaving the middle open. A little bit of a change up from what I would call the standard setup upstairs. So
10 seconds to
we'll have to see whether or not they play it differently. I think they had the right setup, and it was just unfortunately played poorly, allowed Team Synq to get in tons of space very early.
Moving to defuse a bomb.
Interesting setup. Well, in the realm of adapt or die, they adapted.
Reloading.
We'll see if it pays off here. Team Synq on the attack side has found one bit of success. Let's see if they're going to try to repeat it here on 2F, bringing along the same sort of ops. Instead of Thermite this time, be bringing out the Hibana. Interesting pick. I like it. It's a way to deal with that Mira when there's no Selmas on the board and when you're not opting to bring the Twitch. Just had the answer for the drones is the mute, and that intel deny just proved to be too tough.
Yeah, this time using the Mav to open up the wall, make sure they get rid of the bandit battery. There goes one. Question is Mav going to put himself in danger there on the upper side? But Bandit doesn't commit. Thought he was going to hold on and wait for that upper angle to come out. But look at that, opening some sight lines there to try and deal with the Bandit if he was playing in that position. But that certainly felt like a little bit of a mistake from Bandit from not holding on, playing that angle for the C4. And now Bandit's got that angle covered.
Pete taken off the board. Man advantage hits that body bounce into the hands of Ghost Army. Yeah, looking for it. Ooh, took a peek, saw him. Couple of swings come out, but he's not gonna take the vertical fight there. Holding on,
Losing
trying to get
Hibana,
that.
though.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, they got a little bit of that answer to get in, but look at this. Deimos down below, going to start putting the pressure on. A grenade goes out. Another bit of a suggestion to move. Solo's going to find Atox off the board. A second grenade in hand. As he sends it up, it's going to force some movement again as he pushes him back. Pizza! It! Finds one. That's delivered. C4 trying to answer back, but not going to be the case as it's now into the hands of Fenrir and Clash trying to bring this one back. A quick couple of shots onto the door, and it's going to be a rotate out to Deimos. Shotgun in hand. Couple of pre-fires. He's reading into the future. Nobody there to take the swing. Solo takes one off the board. Quick swing. Deimos gets taken off the board, and now, wow, themselves into a post-plant scenario. Grim Bees are going off. He's going to be making the rotate. He has to get through the barricade, which is going to reveal his location. They now know that he's coming up top of Aqua here. Makes the push in. Figure out where the heck the defenders are, assuming there's a pillar player. There to answer. He gets close, and there it is. Shots off the mirror, and they're going to find him.
Yeah, great hold there. Mav doing his doing some fantastic work. I thought he put himself in a bit of danger, but again, played poorly from the Ghost Army side. Seemed like they had the angle from the bandit early on that IT wall. You could have taken down Mav during that engagement, would not have been able to open up that sight line in the connector into sight to protect the pillar play, maybe giving them a little bit of an opportunity or prevented them from even getting the plant down. Team Synq right now is playing as the better team. That is 4 in a row for them after Ghost Army started off 3-1. Team Synq has answered back in a huge way.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Huge couple of rounds by the attack. Just finding an answer for everything the Ghost Army is doing. So, adaptation again. Send it down to the basement, and this time Solus is going to come out. Atoc's also going to favor the shotgun here. So, a little bit of that close quarter
10 seconds to
engagement.
go.
Probably going to look to play spoiler in the end of it. Is shotguns the
5
chess
seconds
match
to
play here?
insertion.
Between these two teams in the EU console scene, that's absolutely what we're seeing right now. The fact that you had Deimos running the shotgun, Warden running the shotgun, Solus running the shotgun, Nook, Legion all running the shotgun. We have seen both of these teams across the board really commit to that style of play, up close and personal here. They're not looking for those long angles. They're not looking for those long distance ACOG shots. They want to get up close and personal. And speaking of up close and personal, Pizza bringing out the blitz here. They're 1 round away from match point, and right now Team Synq is playing very aggressively.
I love it. This is what we needed. Some spearhead action. Get in, take space, force the defenders back down into sight, and then catch them on the cuts. We'll see if that's the way it's going to play. Nobody up on the second floor to take that engagement. 3 down on the first, including Atox, Fenrir, and Goyo. A couple of shots already ringing out, though. They claim that 2F and now can put some pressure on these first floors. Going to force them back. Goyo retreating to the vending stairs, but still holding on. Still playing life.
That first minute of gameplay gone, and there it is. The first engagement, QLF picks up 1. But man, answered back in a big way, and that is Pizza. We talked about the blitz playing upstairs, taking space, and takes down Atox. That's that Solus, the shotgun not working out, losing that battle, and right now evened up, 4v4, half the round gone. See the attackers starting to change the strategy up, moving a little bit slow. They're playing 1 upstairs, that's just the buck. But other than that, got to work on getting some of these sight lines open. I don't think they've taken enough space yet.
Well, still got plenty of time on the board. Legion is rotated up to the vending stairs to help put pressure on that first floor. And here's the big part here is Fenrir is rotated all the way up to the second floor, right? And if he goes unsussed out, they are just assuming maybe that he rotated back down into sight. And if that's the case, if you make the play on the assumption, Blitz is going to die. Like, your shield is going to die, your presence, your execution is going to die as long as the shots are on point. He's got the play. Starting to creep up. Looking towards some of that vertical that could be trying to get that hatch open. 38 seconds left on the board. We sit 4-all. They've made their way in. Blitz starting to put some pressure onto the player here on the single wall. Flash goes out, but he's going to miss it. Now gets up close and personal. Pete's able to take one off the board. A good melee is going to amount to a kill as Pizza gets taken out by a pistol pop shot. Up top, vertical play is going to be dealt with. Oh, my Lord. They didn't know he was there, and they got the kill anyways. Man advantage and body balance into the hands of Team Synq. 12 seconds left. They have to push in and take this final play on with Goyo. They've got 1 down. Shay's going to find it. Team Synq just looking absolutely incredible on the attacker side at Nighthaven.
That's 5 in a row for this team. 2 on their defensive half, undefeated on the attacking half. We said coming in, this was Ghost Army's map pick. And boy, at the end of round 4, we were talking about how good this team was looking. 3-1 they started off, and since then, Team Synq has absolutely come alive, been nearly unstoppable, unbeatable since that point. 5 rounds in a row, and now on match point for map 1. Yeah, what a play to start this thing off.
That was the turner right there. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go ahead, the defining what?
It was the defining moment in that round. You got 2F they lost twice in a row and basement. They haven't been able to find success on either the primary or the secondary site. And now for the 3rd time on their defensive half, Ghost Army is going to try the second floor again. Boy, we said, or I said, this second floor defense
10
was
seconds
very much
remaining.
set up as the standard, but they have not been able to make it work. So they're going to
5 seconds
change it
left.
up, trade out that bandit, not go for the breach denial. They're going to use the tuberow
Attackers are
instead,
moving out to
and then I
locate a
think this
bomb
is
and
a
defuse
great
it.
call. Running the Goyo. We saw Goyo downstairs in the basement, was utility was basically ineffective as most of the action was happening far away from site. So it'll be the big question. Can Atox and those Goyos shut down any of these movement lines and prevent Team Synq? And they've got an answer. Pete, running the Twitch.
Yeah, man, and gotta find the answer in who do you take out on the other side. Solo having just an incredible game, 10-5, currently put himself onto the striker. They're already making their way up onto the second floor here and claiming some of this real estate early.
Yeah, from a defensive perspective, they basically ignored anything past the connector side, so no real pressure over there. Atox is in, holding connector at least. That would be the question. They don't, besides the Tubrow, who's playing sort of in sight, they don't have anything besides the mute jammer in play. So Thermite's still going to be able to get this wall open. Because of that repel, he's able to get it in play. Connector, I don't think he's got the same set of options, so they're going to need to either distract Tubrow and then use the Twitch here to try and clear out some of this util. But man, what a shot on the Mira.
Sniper shot. That was crazy. When aim meets instinct, my friend, that was huge. And they open up that really just critical Mira on the backside. That's going to force these defenders to rotate out. You can't hold that pillar position anymore safely unless you're doing it from a crouched position. Pizza with a shotgun underneath is going to find one. They're going to take the second Mira, and that means crosses are set up in a big way. Well, I thought he was going to take the Mira.
That was, again, just unfortunately poorly played from the Ghost Army side. You had the Tubrow nowhere near either of the breaches, playing inside, back behind the mirror window, unaware that he's getting shotgun from down below. The grenade comes in, they lose the Miras. Boy, this thing is absolutely falling apart for Ghost Army on map 1. Team Synq is 50 seconds away from a map 1 victory.
No kidding. Cross set up, players down, plant starting to go down. They control the pivotal part of the maps that are needed. Oh, caught unaware. Grim's going to get taken down. Atox, you said he had to be the one. He's not going to be able to do it, though. They take him. If you blink, you missed it. Map 1 is over and done.
Wow, big win there. 7-3 victory for Team Synq to start it off. And man, what a change. What a swing in momentum we saw between these two teams. Ghost Army came out swinging, but completely left the server as halfway through. Team Synq unbeatable in the second half. That was a hell of a string of victories they put together, my friend.
No kidding. I mean, from a 3-3 half that looked so close, it was just an absolute switch. Team Synq's attack is just looking incredible. Now, we head on to the second map after this. This is going into Team Synq's map pick as well, right? So this puts a lot of pressure on Ghost Army. They've got a big uphill climb. They want to pull themselves back into this one. Run! Map 1's over and done. We got to get ourselves set up for map number 2. So sit back and relax, because when we come back, we're going to give you that. Heyo.
Let's go. Deimos wins the battle.
That's right, and they claim that second floor. What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. It was a spicy map number 1. 3-3 on the split. Looked like this one was going to go the distance and maybe see our first peek at infinite overtime. And then Team Synq, they just ran with it. They pedaled to the metal. Whiskey Run, they just went.
Yeah, and what a change in momentum that game showed us. To start off on Nighthaven, Ghost Army's map pick. And if you're just joining us, welcome everyone to the lower bracket final here for the final season in ESA. The question here was, what was going to happen with Ghost Army? And they completely lost it. They shut down. They fell apart in the second half of that game. Team Synq winning 6 in a row to close it out. They had a hell of a game there at the end. And Ghost Army now on the ropes as we go into Team Synq's map pick. Cafe.
And Cafe, the great window simulator. This is going to be a tough uphill climb here, Whiskey. And like so the staff predictions coming in at 50-50, they were right for the first half of the map. But social predictions, the people, they wanted a Ghost Army win and they have to do it now, right? If they don't get it here, this one's done and dusted. Team Sync's headed into the grand finals.
And honestly, I was with the people on this one. Maybe I'm just unfamiliar with Team Sync's game. We got a chance to cast them, we said early on, the opening match of the playoffs, and they lost that match versus Entropy Gaming. Since that point, though, they have been on an unstoppable lower bracket run. So the staff had more favor and more faith in this team going into it. Ghost Army, I think, the heavy favorites coming in, but Team Synq showed up ready to win the lower bracket final.
Okay, first ban off the board. Dokube's gone dust and dusted. That's the DMR. That's the intel after the kill. Here's the question: do they get rid of the blitz, or do we still see the Deimos pick? Or
I was gonna say,
I didn't mean Deimos.
I don't think that blitz was that effective, that much an important part of the Team Synq attack strategy. We saw Ghost Army run the Blackbeard a little bit, but not very much. Neither of these teams really being very shield focused, shield heavy. So they're all going to be available. They're going to prefer to keep the Dokkaebi and the Grim off the board. All the Boss Gs were banned, so this is the question. Is Team Synq going to follow suit, ban the Vigil, the Castle? That's an interesting defensive ban, though.
The Azami. Yeah, it's a tough pick here on this last one. Do you go with the Mira? Do you go with the Valkyrie? Do you get the Boss G off the board with the Vigil? Or the fourth and final pick that is necessary on the defense? It's that static warfare that only the Architect can bring, really solidifying some of those areas, like holding into a bakery or a piano up on the second floor, the white presence. I mean, there's just so much that the versatile Azami can do. Now, since it wasn't banned out, Solo putting themselves onto the Vigil. We're going to see if this was why he was banned out in the first place.
The interesting thing here, again, if you're just joining us, that was the first map, 7-3 victory versus on Nighthaven for Team Synq. That was Ghost Army's map pick, started off on attack. On this one, Team Synq map pick, Ghost Army's going to go ahead and choose to play into attack to start off with here as well. Team Synq getting, I think, a little bit of a boost, starting off on defense on both of their maps. But the interesting thing, Team Synq was better as an attacking team. That's a dangerous spot for Ghost Army to be in. So, Cafe, new map, new place to do battle between these two. And look at this lineup that they've got. The Blitz and the Ram and the Ace.
Yeah, I like it, right? That's one of the things about the bakery is you get in and take that initial space. You have to take the power or the pressure on that bakery counter, right? So there, all of a sudden you're forcing that player into movement, and you got the cross set up on the window. When they get pressured out and onto the door, then you're gone.
Okay, hey, you see the fire out early on. We talked about Goyo being an important part of the Ghost Army defense that they had brought to change things up. This time, though, Pete gonna bring out the Goyo, and you see the fire very early on, clearing out some of this defensive utility. Ghost Army on the attack, and they're gonna open up with that first pick, this time with the Ace. We didn't get a chance to see Ace on Nighthaven. That opening ban really changed up the way the game is played. This time, though, see the Vigil upstairs, and it is the Blitz doing the hunting.
That's right, and they're looking for nobody. They've already moved back on down. Vigil still sitting in pillar, so they're looking for the cross. They're looking for the rotate for him to come back out of there. Blitz Legion Good is able to take it out, still be that force. Somebody's down there, and they know it. They know the Vigil is down there, and they're looking to isolate him right now.
The thing about it is, you said, all right, the Boss G coming out, but Solo's running the K1A, which I think is a great call on a big map. You need a little bit of that ability to take the fight to multiple people, especially when you're playing the roam side. So he's still in train, and look at this. Blitz is still searching. They cannot find him. In this case, man, it's a couple player change-up as well. That's Charlie playing the blitz, and on the Team Synq side, unfalls, woke up from his nap, and made it in here for map 2.
Yeah, Pizza's going to find one, Solo's going to find one, and that's going to be the body balance into the hands of Team Synq. Not able to find and locate this Vigil, and he's still a force to be reckoned with. There they go, finally getting one off the board, equalizing on the number count as Pete goes down. They still have that pressure up on the second floor.
Look at this. You got the last 30 seconds left, tied up 3-3. It's about to get crazy. There goes one, hiding in the train.
Yep, now they've sussed him out, and they still have to put the pressure on him because he will impact later on in the round. So with 20 seconds left, Vigil doing a hell of a job at stalling out this clock, taking people off the board. They finally get him. Numbers get equalized, but with 10 seconds left, I mean, they've got to go for the kills here. A quick rotate outside on the precipice of getting in, but that's another attacker that goes down as Pete's able to take him. A shotgun in hand to deny it, but it's not going to be needed. Time officially torched. Team Synq takes round number 1.
Time officially torched. Yeah, they worked it. All the action happening upstairs. Very little of it on the first floor in the site until the very final seconds of that round. The fact that we were still stacked up 3-3 with 30 seconds left meant there was going to be a lot of action. You said it, but nothing happening down on site, and the defense picks one up. At first floor site, definitely a good defensive hold. Are they going to go for this next? Going back to the third floor, or not the third floor. They're playing reading. That's a good call, I think. The mid-floor sites on Cafe have definitely been on the rise, and whether or not we're going to see the change-up we're looking for now is on the Ghost Army side, because if you keep counting from last map, that's 7 in a row for Team Synq.
Wow, that's a huge stat. That is a huge line, and that was why the Vigil was banned. If Vigil was alive on Nighthaven, that one might have been done a little bit quicker, to be honest with you. So, he solo switches up to the Goyo now, putting themselves, I believe, on, was it the Vector? I'm sure it was, right? Arguably the best gun in the game, especially if you're getting some of that long-distance sight lines opened up. So, Vigil, or not Vigil, Goyo, Mira, and a little bit of health in the hands of Doc. This is a formidable defense here on the second floor.
And you've got right now all 5 members of Team Synq holding down the third floor. Everybody is upstairs. It's almost like they're going for a site switch. There is an opportunity here for Ghost Army. Yes, there is some vertical play that they have to worry about, but man, if they went for a quick plant on reading, they could have caught this Team Synq team completely off guard, but they're going for the standard clear. They're going to work this. They've identified now that it's not a third floor site, but I don't think they realize this defensive presence that Team Synq has got upstairs right now.
Yeah, and did rotate the mute back down, and Fod also takes the scenic route as he puts himself onto the first floor. Look at that, a quick peek there is going to amount to a kill as one goes down, but damage done on both sides of the board is nobody claiming that health advantage. Until Doc
Falls got to keep himself, I was going to say, he's got to keep himself alive. Look at this. Opening up the floor, a 2-story dock stem coming out just when you need it. Gonna boost Amira back up to full health, so now it's a little bit of a health advantage here on the Team Synq side. Ghost Army, again, the blitz just working, searching, trying to find something, but man, 2 fall in quick succession.
That's right. Solo able to claim one of those. They get a little bit closer to tying up on the score line. Huge play by the defense, and attack is on the side of the attack. Now they just made their way inside. Let's just having a casual stroll as they find and suss out the mute, and that's going to be a pistol pop for the body drop. Goyle canisters go down. Now left into a 1v3 as the Vector's able to claim one. Solo has to be able to get it done. Finds a second.
Wow.
He's on the triple for the round, which means he's on pace for the ace, and he's got Diffuser. The next battle coming up with the Blitz. He takes a quick swing. Blitz able to take him off the board. Solo goes down swinging.
I don't know what happened there, honestly. It looks like Solo got stuck in the corner or something. He dodges the flash, or maybe he did. Maybe he was flashed and just lost track of exactly where he was, because he got the shield break on Blitz, but just could not finish off the kill. What a hell of a run. To me, this comes down to the play we just saw there in the replay. the defense was playing very aggressively. They go for the run out and they lose 2 as a result. Even though they had a little bit of battle upstairs, thing completely fell apart for them, taking a little too many chances. Solo was having a little bit of a historic run there, picking up a triple and eventually a quad piece, but it was just a triple there to finish off round 1. They're playing a little bit too aggressively. Ghost Army taking advantage of that. So the 7-round win in a row run ended for Team Synq as Ghost Army finally picks up 1 on attack.
Yeah, it's a go big or go home move there, right? If they
5
find
seconds
those
remaining.
2 kills instead of dying horrifically,
Bomb located
then
by
of course
attackers.
that's a huge
Attackers are
advantage to the
moving to
defense.
defuse the bomb.
Instead, that strat brought to you by regret. They lose that round and it gets tied up now in a 1-1.
I mean, it's not bad when you're feeling it, when you've got that level of confidence, when you want to take those extra chances. Sometimes you can catch that team off guard, and they had been absolutely shutting Ghost Army down from defensive perspective across the board, so why not take the chance? This time, though, Ghost Army mental not shocked, even though they had lost 7 in a row. They were ready for it and answered back in a big way. So 1-1 as we tied up, looking very even now between these two, but man, that is interesting. Using the H charge to open up a soft hatch. Seems like there's plenty of opportunity there. If Ash has got a couple of breach charges in pocket, why not try and run it that way? But you know what? If it works, let's say it doesn't work. Snooze goes down. That's the blitz. Searching all over, and then Nook answers back. Oh man, I thought Nook was going to go down in that fight.
No kidding, really low HP, but they claim one, and it's an important one as well. That's the Echo gone done and dusted. Yas able to find one as a headshot rings out, but answered back immediately. Solo goes down, so now 4v2, unless Solo is potentially resable. Nope, they get the confirmation there, which means we put ourselves in a tough situation. Is that somebody, was he glitching? Or am I lagging?
No, it was looking glitching to me as well, and boy, now if you're a Team Synq fan, this is looking a little bit dire. Pete and Fod, the 2 guys killless so far. They're gonna have to shut down. They're gonna have to shut down 4 attacking team members. But boy, it looked like we were seeing somebody else lagging as well. I'm wondering whether or not this is looking a little rough. Shots going on upstairs. There, you still have got a minute left. They're playing it out, going crazy.
Okay, time starting to tick down. Looking to find that 6th defender in the delay game. There's 55 left. Does get droned out as they push themselves into the laundry hatch. A flash rings out, but he's able to escape out of there. Atok's able to take Pete down, and that's going to be the double to ring out. And that's the second one for Ghost Army.
Wow, there it is. Okay. Yeah, completely shutting down this Team Synq defense. After a little bit of an aggressive play to start off on round 1, Ghost Army has taken control of the way that Cafe is being played. And even though this is, again, Team Synq's map pick, right now Ghost Army looking like the better team to start off. So we said that going all the way to round 4 on the previous map before Team Synq got crazy and came back in a big way. So which team are we going to see? Are we going to see the dominant Ghost Army of the first half? Or are we going to see Team Synq bring it back? Again, we saw a little bit of pausing, a little bit of weird stuff going on lag-wise during that first round. So we're going to take a quick break here before we get into the next.
Okay, so here's the deal, Whiskey. Oh yeah, no, no break. It's just a quick check something out,
Excellent.
And then we're back in. So here's the thing: Ghost Army looked good on their attack on Night Haven as well, right? So I mean, it's kind of playing out similarly. The thing is you're really going to want to put yourself on that standard split line, that 4-2 arena, because Team Synq's attack is aggressive. It's gap spotting. It's taking advantage of isolated players and just really living up to their neat namesake, right? Team Synq's attack is synced up.
That's the way that they played it out. And going into that first, I thought we were going to see a continuation of the Team Synq dominance, but Ghost Army, we said it, taking advantage of mistakes. That was really the hallmark that we saw at the very beginning of Night Haven as well, as they did a good job spotting and take advantage of the Team Synq mistakes. It kind of fell apart after that point, so we said, which is it going to be? Is it going to be the Ghost Army of the first half or the second half? right now from what they're bringing out operator-wise. Bringing out the blitz, bringing out the Jackal, and I like that pick. Jackal, of course, loses some life immediately as we say his name, but I love this dedication to try and find some of the roamers from the Team Synq side. I think that's a great adaptation.
Yeah, and I love the aggression that we're seeing out here out of the attack, right? The blitz being shown every round, a great spearhead. But unfortunately, first kill's going to ring out, and it's going to be the ace that goes down. A little tougher to get those walls opened up as there's no can opener. So whatever's opened is open. Going to have to rely on the buck to get some of that soft breach to get back in. Solo Whiskey, he's back on the vigil. He's 5-3. He's in the pillar room currently as they're trying to suss him out. Drones have got on him. Blitz is looking for him. They know that they're claiming this third floor presence is nobody's up there to contest it with them. Setting up some cross on the first floor. They're really going to do, hopefully, a better job at sussing out Solo. And there it is. He gets taken off the board, and that takes us to a 4-4.
Huge.
Yeah.
Boy, they spent so much effort, so much time, resources trying to make sure that they found him, and it pays off. They take down Solo. He was the kill leader for a while, and really the energy behind this team off the back of that 3K to start off. But Shutdown are going to have to watch from the cams for the rest of the round. The C4 prime prep and ready from Pizza, but he's a little bit of a feast or famine guy as well. We talked about it in that first playoff game. One map unbelievable, the second barely there. Which Pizza is going to show up from the Team Synq side? It's going to be a significant difference for this team, but those shotguns come out, working the vertical angle. They have got just about a minute left at this point. 4 left alive, 4v3, and right now it's a fish in a barrel scenario with all of the defenders on the first floor.
That's right. Going back to get the diffuser as they're setting themselves up to claim a little bit of space and get themselves into a position to get an execute going down. Blitz still holding on. He's a walking drone at this point as he's just giving information. He's coiled like a snake, ready to make that push. The C4, I think, is going to be the determiner here, or at least one of them as the impacts. They're going to push in. If he can connect with it and get one of them off the board, specifically one that's not Jackal, that's going to be huge. Jackal goes down.
Wow!
Another goes down. Pete is able to find one. Blitz pushing in. They're going to take one. Pete's able to take one down, and now into a 3v1. It's all going to be left on the gridlock.
Boy, this time Team Synq hitting all of their shots in the right way, and Ghost Army trying to push the advantage, playing a little bit too aggressive. But those are just some good angles held and trigger discipline, and Ghost Army winning the 1v1s right up until the very end, and then falling apart as all of those crosses. You could see multiple kills at the end, had 2 different angles taking place there from the Team Synq side. They were doing a much better job of covering, holding those angles on the first floor site. So they won first floor both times they played it on round 1 and round 4. After that, unsuccessful on the third and second floors. See if they can change that around here as we head into round 5.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah. And also, did you notice, Run? Like, Gridlock's pushing in with 9 seconds left in that 1vx scenario. So, Team Synq just doing a wonderful job of forcing these attackers to have to burn through tons of utility to take that space. Even though there's nobody up on the third floor, they still got to get bodies in to go up and search for them because that flank has been so important. They still have to get drones in and suss out that gadgetry because the util has proved to be so important. And yet again, they tie us up. The pressure starting to mount for Ghost Army.
Oh, look at that. I thought we were going to see a spawn peek there upstairs on the third floor, but no, they don't push the advantage. Just open up the window again to give the attacking team a little bit of pause, except that Blackbeard, he's unfazed. He's going to go ahead and walk right up, push in. Going to say, was he going to jump in the window? No, he's going to play it a little bit safer, drone this thing out, watching and waiting. Who's that's holding on? Valkyrie there, laying in the dining area, trying to find her. Look at this, the AR coming out, and Solo picks up another opening pick and an advantage for Team Synq.
That's right, and Atox gets a very low health situation. C4 rings out, it connects, Pizza finds one. C4 delivered, and it's within 30 minutes, so you got to pay full price, Blackbeard. That price is your life. 5v3 now with so much time left on the board, but it's all playing out into the hands of the defense.
We said how Pizza goes, how goes this team, and right now continuing the streak 4-2, holding on to the mirror. The C4 are not in pocket anymore, but in a 5v3 scenario, Ghost Army has got their work cut out for them. Gained a little bit of map control, but it almost feels like Team Synq on the defense, baiting them into it. Still have got Solo holding on the second floor, ready to play the vertical if they want to try and push it, and that is where Nook is, looking and searching, but you still have got Flores outside. It is only the Ying that's made the push in.
That's right, and diffuser down, right? So it still has to be frags. Look at this, like 2 ships passing in the night. Nook is close, has no clue. They're going to take a peek, but it's going to be too late. They're not even going to take a peek. And Nook and NPC, as they walk past the laundry closet door, Incandela starts going out, but it feels like a too little, too late scenario. The hatch drop, or the drop down skylight is going to not find a kill. It's looking like a flawless round here. Nope. Never mind. Ying's going to find one. We'll see if they're able to bring back 4 in rapid succession. Still have to play off the mirror, and it's going to be Frost taking the kill.
Okay, that time, Ghost Army falling apart and acting without the intel that they needed to be able to be successful. Team Synq picks up one. They find that win on the 3rd floor. It was a question mark about whether they could do it, but this right there indicative of the mistakes that Ghost Army was making. Even though you had the Nook on the flank downstairs, just not aware that Solo on a triple kill on his way to the ace before he's finally shut down. It was a great run by Team Synq, but again, working off the mistakes that Ghost Army is making. They have got to be better. They have got to be playing cleaner Siege, because now we are in really a do or die scenario here for Ghost Army. We're getting close. They are on the what is potentially the final map in their ESA run. This is the lower bracket final, map 2 of the best of 3, with Team Synq 1 map up.
10 seconds to
Go big or take that proverbial bus ride home. Adaptations coming out for this last round of the half here, Whiskey. We're going to see the Maestro in play. Couple that with the Goyo, we have got some stopping, stalling power. Mira, making sure they're holding on to those critical push points. Mute to deny the intel. This is a stacked defense. Now, here's the one rub. If Bravo can get in and just get 1 or even 2 of those devices, and then that is a tide-turning gadget play, right? It's intel into sight. It's cams that can shoot back. It's preparing yourself for any sort of execute. It's pushing people out of those critical pinch positions. We'll see how it plays out. The battle begins.
I love the hack off. I love getting to see the Brava try and take down the Maestro. Let's see it.
I'm reloading.
Atox, this could be it, my friend. I want to see some of these gadgets get stolen and then fight back against the defense. Maybe a little bit cheesy at this point. Is it worth it? I think yes. You're holding on to the 2F reading site. You're going to need something. You're going to need a little bit of the intel on this offensive side. It was the piece that we saw lacking. Can they pull it off here? Minute 58 and... oh, no! No! Huge Pizza left the game. Man, we said how goes Pizza goes this team, and that is an unfortunate omen as we're into the last round of their defensive half.
Look at that. Bravo's made its way, the Clutch drone, all the way into sight without seeing any sort of real gadget outside of the default cam up top so far and looking. That's going to be a quick one. C4 answers out. And that's going to be an equalizer. That's huge, right? Numbers advantage was had. If you take your time, reassess, then try to isolate some of these players down below on the first floor. It could have been huge. Fod's able to take
Maestro goes
off the
for a
board.
run out.
able to answer back, taking Fod down now into a 3-3 scenario. Minute and 12 left onto the board. That's going to be Solo finding one. A Vector ringing out and claiming one, claiming 2, even with the body balance. 3 to be found. Huge play by Solo.
Wow. Wow, what a play. What a way to come back to after having Pizza leave that match early. So early in that round, a little bit of a deficit, but Team Synq just ready, waiting, and then off the back of Solo having an incredible game to start off with. Pizza's already back in. Boy, that was quick. He's right back in this match. but Solo, really the guy to beat. He's going to be the win con here for this Ghost Army
Bomb
team.
located by
11-4-2, having a incredible game at this point. Ghost Army, right, they've got to do more than show up in the server. They got to show up in the map at this point. Down 2-4, a little bit of a standard split, but oh no, Pizza goes down again in the prep phase this time.
What just an absolutely huge play by Solo there, Run. Like legitimately. Is the other team had the numbers advantage, but Solo had the timing, and it was just absolutely a masterclass. Okay, everybody's leaving, Run. We're gonna get rehosted. You know the deal and you know the drill. Sit back and relax, because when we come back, we're gonna bring you the stunning conclusion to the second map. Ayo.
Let's go.
What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. We're back, rehost done data. We sit currently 4-2, Team
Bomb
Synq,
located
on
by
the
attackers.
precipice of heading to the big dance floor, the grand finals for ESA Cup.
Yeah, and what a rehost timing. This is unfortunate scenario here. Pizza's Wi-Fi goes down the end of that match. Now, they had a great run
10
to start
seconds
off
remaining.
with, 3 in a row again to finish off their defensive
5
half,
seconds left.
going on to the attack. And this is a team that won all of their attacking rounds on Night
Attackers are
Haven.
heading out to defuse
This,
a bomb.
again, on their map pick. We're expecting them to be very good. And honestly, if you're a Ghost Army fan, gotta love that the scoreboard is reset. That team was really struggling in the first half, right? You had 2 players in, well, everybody in single digits, and really only Senzo picking up 6-5 and 1, the only positive player on this team. Gotta love that now it's reset, clean slate, everybody at zeros after the rehost. What can you do now on your defensive half? Get ready on Cafe. They got to shut this thing down, but look at this, the Twitch working on the Team Synq side, clearing out some of that utility. Warden holding on to that power position in VIP. That is going to have to be a focus here for Synq.
Yeah, well, and you asked what can they do? Well, you got to take out Solo. You give this guy an inch and he takes your entire lineup, right? He's just absolutely carrying right now. So I think that has to be first step. They do get the ace off the board, so some of the wall's going to stay closed. Blitz making their way in and around, just inside, just casually taking a peek, taking a gander. He's going to pay the price for turning his back potentially as they start to light him up from everywhere.
Yeah, that was a battle happening between Solo and Senzo in the hallway there. Blitz was trying to get a flank in play, but he goes around and is shut down. Charlie taking a Pizza down as well. Everything starts to fall apart there for the attacking team, but they still have got 3 left alive, plus a Finka with 1 more of those boosts in play. You get some health back for this team, and picks up 1 from Pete on the F2. Boy, all of the action happening quickly here, but it's still a 3v2, minute left, plenty of time.
Yep, Solo's able to find 1 onto Atox, and now it's a 1v2 with Solo having to do Solo things and live up to his namesake. Couple of quick shots down as they've got the ping, they've got the intel on at least 1. Just casually trying to bait him into a potential swing here, but he's not going to take that bait. He's gonna walk away and live to die another day. 50 seconds as it starts to count down, and it's going to be Goyo on the flank with the potential play here.
Yeah, they got a
Solo.
little bit of ground there on the VIP side, but look at this. He's going to be able to use the Capital, and that's the plant going down.
Yeah, but it's in a difficult spot. He might be able to be sussed out from the red stair. Plant goes down, looking for a swing. Oh, Solo able to find one. Now a post-plant scenario where we might have a couple of shots towards Bakery, pushing up. Try to stop that, any sort of Capital bolts, but he's out of them, so it's just going to be a straight gunfight here. Have to have 7 seconds on the board to get that defuse going, so it has to happen. Wamai taking a bunch of damage, trying to suss out where this Capital is, quickly running out of time. He's in a position to start a long arm. Really not going to stick. No, he puts the bait in, and Solo gets sucked into the bait. Oh, just enough time to get it done. Defenders barely take that. There's clutches, and then there's whatever the hell that was, but it worked.
Boy, and taking down Solo, we said he was going to be part of the win con there for the Ghost Army team. Before the rehost, he was sitting at 11-4. He picked up his 13th and 14th kill on that round, and it was going to be 15 there to shut this defense down. But Ghost Army come up with the clutch, or whatever that was, at the end of the round just in time. He gets that kill with, I think, about 9 seconds left. Just 2 seconds to spare. So close when it came down to it. Honestly, I think Solo maybe pushed the advantage a little bit too much. Could have hung back, waited. Again, it was 2 seconds away from an unwinnable situation for the defense. Takes a little bit of takes a little bit of a risk, loses the battle. Ghost Army goes up 1, and we said it. It's a do or die scenario for Ghost Army. Best of 3, Team Synq up by 1. They must win Cafe to see the decider.
Honestly, I think it came down to where that plant was at. Solo had to make the push because he was in a position he couldn't be shot. And he was sticking that thing. I don't know. I think it was the right play. It just didn't turn out in Team Sync's favor. If you're a Ghost Army fan, you're celebrating right now. So, now, see a little bit of switch up. We're going to lean into some intel as Valkyrie's on the board. And intel deny, of course, in the hands of mute. Double Claymore setup. Says jump in, jump out. I mean, it ain't going to be pretty. Even if you get the first one, there's a backup in place. Huge.
Look at this Twitch drone just making quick work of all of the defensive utility as it comes up the white stairs. So all of the pieces in play, all of those intel gathering pieces of defensive utility they had, the Legion, the Fenrir, all of that gone. So this is definitely going to be a focus for the Team Synq attack, holding on to those white stairs. That is going to be a piece of it. Whether or not Ghost Army realizes that all those pieces are gone to be the difference maker at this point. So still stacked 5 apiece. Team Synq working on clearing the utility. Ghost Army holding down and pretty spread out here for even that second floor defense. Got a lot of third floor presence plus a first floor and an opening pick.
That's right, and a big one too. So some of those cameras gonna left unperturbed, specifically those Goyo canisters not taken out by the Twitch. That could be huge, getting on a little bit more closer towards that late round play. Nobody up on the third floor, so that vertical space going to be held now as they can start to open it up and put some pressure on. Nope, just one C4 still into the hands of mute as well.
I love that punch hole that that Valk was playing, holding on to the stair, on the white stairs as well. We said that was going to be a focus. She was holding on to it, but they're approaching from the third floor rather than the first. Valk backing off that engagement just a little bit. As they're stacked 5 apiece, they don't need to take any risks, or 5 players on the Ghost Army side, they don't need to take any risks until Unfalls shuts down Senzo. That's unfortunate. Seemed like a little bit of the leader of the team up until this point.
That's right, Fob able to take one down as well, which does put us into a bod balance tipped into the hands of Team Synq as they're starting to make the push in. But as the time starts to tick down, there's 40 left, so it starts to put their hands into the defensive favor. Now Legion gets taken down as Solo's able to find one, put him onto a 3-1 post rehost. No C4s. Goyo's going to go down, going to be left alone in a 1v4 scenario. Atok's able to find the first, pivots around, takes shots towards the staircase, but nothing's going to find that. Red gets dealt with. Laundry's going to find another one, but then Solo taking it back. When everybody else panics, Solo ascends and he finds the round.
The win con again left alive, picks up his 15th kill of the map, including post rehost, and wins that battle. Atox put up a hell of a fight, getting close, winning 2 of those gunfights before ultimately getting shut down there in the battle at the end. Man, so close, but Solo continues to be the win con here for Ghost Army. They have got to get him off the board if they want to have a shot at winning this. Team Synq is 2 rounds away from the grand final.
Ooh, pressure starting to creep. This is an aggressive Team Synq attack. They're spotting gaps, they're isolating. Obviously, win con, got to take down Solo, but outside of that, man, what can they do, Run? It's getting counter-stratted. They're being very reactive. I guess that's the thing. We need to see some aggression out of Ghost Army. We need to see that initial pick go down.
10 seconds
Boy,
remaining.
take Solo off the board first. It'll be pretty tasty.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Being a little bit aggressive here at this point, trying to do
Attackers are heading
something
out
to
to defuse
upset
the bomb.
this. But the thing about it is, Team Synq has been really unstoppable on the attack. We said perfect on the Night Haven attack and continuing to be good here as well, including the round that Ghost Army won back on round 7. That was a post-plant scenario 1v1 that they very easily could have won. It was a judgment call, like you said, on whether or not you push it, hold the long arm, defend it, hang back for a second, but to me, that one was absolutely a winnable scenario here for Team Synq on the attack. So they have been very, very good. But man, Fod goes down. A little bit of the hero of the last round. Atox, he's the only guy right now that's really putting up some serious numbers. QLF got one good round in, but other than that, Ghost Army needs to come up. You've got 2 players still sitting at 0 kills, and ahead before the rehost, Charlie was 1-5. And he's 0-2 after the rehost. 1-7 is not going to get you a win in the lower bracket final.
That's true. Well, they hit the first part of the win con. They got aggressive. They found the early pick, and that pick was onto Fod, the ace, the Selma charges. They find a second onto Twitch. Body balance now into the hands of Ghost Army. They've got everything to lose there. Makes a quick spot, quick pre-fire. Not going to be able to get out of there. Oh, he is. Pulse makes it out. A low health scenario, but he lives. Man, that was what they needed. So now, body balance is huge, right? They're looking at a flawless round here. Pulse is playing ring around the rosy here in mining, and they're going to take a couple of shots. He does go down, but gets traded out immediately as Atox is able to take down Unfalls. Pizza, the last alive in a 1v4, might take this round as a little bit of a, well, he's going to pat the KD just a tad. I was going to say might take this round as a chance to let the team talk about it, you know, a little faux timeout, if you will, but no, he's going to stay active. He's going to get back in and try to get something going now.
Even playing on what we maybe considered a compromised internet connection at this point, yeah, you said it, Pizza, ready, waiting. He was 4-2 before the rehost. He's picked up one more so far, and he's got 3 potential opportunities here on Ghost Army. We've seen them make some mistakes. We've seen Team Synq make some adjustments there to take advantage of it, but it's a heavy body balance advantage for Ghost Army, and not going to make it past the top of the brown stairs.
That's right. The cross was just set up. It was a 1v3. Took a little time. Figured out what went wrong in that round. Make the adjustment. Come back a little bit stronger. It's 5-4. Whiskey 1 away from tying us up. Definitely looking a little bit better than the Night Haven performance. Ghost Army needs to really step it up. This next round is going to be absolutely critical.
Okay, first floor hold here for the Ghost Army defense. We saw them win it back on round 7. That's what we talked about. That post-plant scenario, 1v1 scenario.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Charlie's still 0-3, though, and sort of holding this team back. They do pick up 1, so when they get into those 1v1s, that's where it gets dangerous. If they can hold on to the body balance, get the trade game out like they did on that previous round, they've got a chance. And the win con met early, and that was a big difference maker. Solo going down. Not necessarily the only thing keeping Team Synq in it, but certainly at this point seems to be an important part of this Team Synq
5 seconds remaining.
attack. And if the Ghost Army can shut him down, there goes a win.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a
There
bomb.
goes a win. Defense lacking that castle for the extension. Gonna go to the Goyo instead. Still facilitate that hold throughout the whole first floor. You have some spoilers up on the 3rd floor. 2 of them to be specific. Both Goyo and Legion looking to maintain that vertical presence. And Time Torch.
You know, you mentioned it. We haven't seen really the investment in the shotguns. That really seemed to be a Night Haven style of play. This on Cafe, a little bit more conventional. But again, a little the Windows Simulator, we see some of those long angle shots. And that really has been, to me, a hallmark of the Team Synq play is that they've done a very good job of holding the angles, holding the crosses, shutting down Ghost Army in the process. So I feel more comfortable taking the long ones. And look at this. Fenrir looked like he was going to go for the run out, plays a little bit of aggressively, but walks back into the drone after picking up the red ping. Saves his life as that first minute of gameplay is done.
Man, and seeing everybody alive, all 5 within the first 60 is pretty incredible. So a nice little adaptation here by both teams as they seek to kind of suss each other out and figure out how they're going to play this one. They've claimed some of that vertical pressure. Everybody from the 3rd floor forced down now. A little bit of a run out by Cade there. Still holding on to the 2nd floor, still maintaining that vertical presence. And now, Solo going to get taken off the board. The win con met. They got the first entry pick, and it was on Solo. Now, this is Ghost Army's round to lose.
Reload! Oh, as you say it, they get a little bit of a trade, but yeah, that was huge for Solo to go down. You saw all of the tracking that was happening, the Goyo pings coming out. There was red lines all over the place on the Ghost Army side, but they managed to survive that. Unfall still left alive, still has the Goyo in play. Still has the Jackal in play. Goyo is going to finally pick up one of those kills here on this round. Charlie, he's got his one. And they managed to hold on to this round. 3-3, that final minute in play. And then look at this, picking up more of those footprints. Going to put some pressure on this Ghost Army defense.
That's right, 45 seconds left. Defense still has a C4 in hand and 1 impact as well. Try and stave off this potential execute. It's starting to count down as the time gets there. Sends Gadgets goes out to block those point of views. Cutting off some of those crosses.
Oh, I love this.
All towards this freezer. Looking into 25. All tied up. This is going to be an absolute blood.
Oh, wow.
Fall. Yeah, now it's all going to be left onto the shoulders of Pizza. They went for the execute. He finds one. Diffuser's cold. Looks towards the second, but can't find it. Pizza goes down.
He knew. He was looking VIP. He goes for the shot on the Warden, but just misses his shots, unfortunately. Warden on target, hits it, and we go tied. Boy, I feel like we overhyped this Team Synq attack as they go into Cafe here. This is their map pick on attack, and they're sort of falling apart. We've seen a Ghost Army pick up 3 attacking out of the 4 rounds played so far, and they've come up exactly when they needed to. We said it. Right now, Team Synq was 2 rounds away from the grand final. Ghost Army is not ready to give up yet. We are 1 round away from match point, and both teams have got the opportunity here on round 11.
Man, the stakes are getting higher and higher. And we said it earlier on map number 1, adapt or die. Ghost Army has done a great job at sussing out what Team Synq has been bringing to the table. Counter-stratted, isolated, and then devastated.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Solo still the win con. The 2 rounds we've seen him go down early have been decisive Ghost Army victories on round 9 and 10. This time, gonna play the Finka. I love that changeup. Bringing out the LMG, bringing out the nades, and then the health. Gotta be not playing the entry side, though. Gotta keep himself alive long enough to support the rest of this team. Get that utility in play to keep everybody alive at this point. So, holding on, not seeing the first floor this time because we've seen Ghost Army pick up a win at this point. Gonna play further up the building, so an opportunity for a little bit more spread out defense, and that's what you're seeing from Ghost Army. All 3 floors covered, although heavy 3rd floor presence.
Yeah, and the spoiler down below, Mira, a C4 to stop potential shield play from getting inside and taking that space on the 2nd floor. Could be the play here, the impact if it goes unsussed.
There you go, the ace working, opening up those sight lines. The Blackbeard doing the same on the window, holding on. It's a dangerous place for Blackbeard to be, watching for that defense to make any of the crosses out, but there's the Capital gonna go out. Use the fire, yeah. Push that operator out of the cocktail side, and there's the nade to finish him off. Solo picking up 1.
Yep, Unfalls takes another off the board, so the body bounce sits into the hands of Team Synq. Holding on to the cross, and some siege timing's going to miss the play. Atoc's able to take VOD down as they're holding into that cocktail corner. Gets out of there.
No
Atoc's
way!
able to find another as we find the equalizer. Blackbeard now has a Legion Goo. IQ has a Legion Goo as things start to slow down. Mira gets done, dusted, and dealt with as Pizza's able to take him off the board. Van advantage back down to the hands of Team Synq. plenty of times as they hold on. It's now the slow rotate down white as Lesion's looking to get active on Pizza, who still sits down onto the first floor. Rotated up towards Pillar. That's going to be Solo finding another one onto Atox.
From the
It's now going to be
window.
left to Lesion as the plant starts to go down. No chance to deny, which means it's going to be a retake in a post plant.
Attackers are activating the
Against the shield as well. Look, no way he wins that battle, shooting out Blackbeard's speed, but you said it. It's a 2v1 scenario. They have got the windows covered. Senzo in a very tough position at this point. Yeah, you can toss a goo mine in there, but when you've got to deal with the LMG from the window, the WinCon wins it solo. Man, just taking down the LMG. Wow.
Finka, the great adaptation there. The global gadget that gives healing to all, the grenades that come in, and more importantly, Whiskey, an LMG with enough bullets to get the job done without having to make the reload. When you're on the window and you're just taking pop shots, you can last for days, and for sure, the full amount of the diffuser time. They find a win. They're on match point scenario. Ghost Army needs to be perfect for one round. Send this into OT.
And they have to, because it's not just match point run, match point, map point, and best of 3 lower bracket final point. Team Synq is 1 round away from the grand final. Ghost Army, the pressure is on. It's not building anymore. It's here in force. You have got to win right now to just force OT on map 2. Otherwise, Team Synq is going to the final, and we will not have that Season 8, Season 9 rematch. Team Synq playing the spoiler, and they're looking to do it in a big way here. Ghost Army, 1 round away. It's your time to shine.
That's right, and what do? They lean into the denial. Goyo back onto the board as Charlie looking to get active with the Vector. Some intel deny and a little bit of health as well. Here's the big part. Here's the rub. Going for some early aggression. Trying to find Solo off the board. Take him down and out, and then win the round.
This
That's
striker
7-3.
play. Yes, Solo 7-3 after his 11-4 of pre-Rio. So he's sitting at 18 kills so far here just in map 2. Including the rehost as well. So having a hell of a game. There's a reason we've been talking about him as the WinCon, and playing the striker. It's one of the things we saw during Reload. A lot of the pro teams playing a lot of striker. The secondary utility being such an important part. Bringing along the nades, bringing out the claymores here. In this case, they're trying to watch out, watching for the flank from Ghost Army. Any of the shenanigans they could try and bring out to change up this strategy. Going to try and prevent any of that motion. Now, you're still sitting 5 stack. That first minute and 10 seconds is gone, and the first engagement happening, and oh no!
Oh, Fod finds one. Pizza finds one. Grenades ringing out, trying to force the play onto the white stairs. Atox goes down as Solo's able to take him. Now puts us into a 5v2. They're looking to try to get this one done flawlessly on the last round. The pressure is here. Mute and Wamai have to find the picks. The time starts to tick down, Whiskey. It's all on the line, and it feels like it's falling all apart.
Solo's one kill away from that 20 bomb. Find one, and it's traded out, and it's all down to Senzo.
4v1. Has to be perfect. Solo looking for his 20 bomb. A minute left. He's going to hold on to the angle. The plant starts to go down. The drop from New Hatch. The sound cue. They've got it! And from the shadows to the spotlight, Team Synq silences the scene and books their spot in the ESA Cup Grand Finals. What a game.
Wow, no overtime, no infinite overtime required, not even a map 3 required as Team Synq shows up in a huge way. It got a little dicey there in the mid-game, but Team Synq showed up exactly when they needed to, shutting down Ghost Army and shutting down the Season 8 champs. They've got the Season 9 champs now waiting for them in the grand final, but a hell of a game put up by both teams. Team Synq was just better for longer across both maps and really taking advantage of all the Ghost Army mistakes and starting to make fewer of their own. But honestly, we got to talk about the individual heroics from Solo being such an important part. A win con for that team When he went down early, it was a Ghost Army win. If he could keep himself alive, he carried this team to the finals.
Man, now a chance to take it all, and off the back of some heroic individual efforts for sure. GG's to Ghost Army. It was a valiant attempt, but it was just the attack of Team Synq being incredible. So now we have a grand finals. The updated bracket, my friend, takes us all the way to the solo spot. Molotov game taking on Team Synq July 1st or June 1st. July. Whew.
That'd be a long wait, and we'd be on Siege X at this point, but just 9 days away from the Siege X and Year 10 Season 2 start. We're gonna finish out ESA Cup in the finale, the final game, June 1st. You said it, 1400 CEST MVG, the Season 9 champs, taking on the upstarts Team Synq, who have showed up in a huge way here for the lower bracket final.
That's right, and they're showing up in style. Wait till you see the lineup, my friends, because this grand finals is going to be one to remember. But for us, we did it. We made it all the way through. No map 3 needed. Unfortunately, ESA Siege Cup done for the day. Whiskey Boys done for the day. So we have come to that dreaded part of the evening where we must, alas, bid you adieu. So as the lights start to dim and the jukebox starts to sing closing time, as always, my friends, you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here.
Ayo.
Let's go. Deimos wins the battle.
That's right, and they claim that second floor real estate, and a second to follow up as Warden's going to get